All right, welcome back to Lake Math. Today we're doing a special edition of how to calculate your Tron Ponzi scheme math. So this is the formula you would use. This is the compound interest formula. I've made it all basic, so you're not going to use this. Normally, you'd have to use exponents and figure out compounding terms and your interest rate and your principal and whatever. We're just going to skip all that and make it easier because I'm pretty sure that I'm talking to people who are not super into the mathy stuff. All right, so first off, we need to turn your rate into a decimal. So 1, because 100% is just 1. Point, and then whatever your rate is goes here. And then to figure out what you would multiply your starting amount by, then you multiply this times itself 14 times. So 17% would be 1.7 raised to the 14, or times itself 14 times. That's the same thing. So basically, you would take your starting amount and multiply it by 9 to figure out your ending amount. I'm making it a little easier here. So for your 14-day calculations, if it's 13%, see, I have a fancy calculator that does exponents and stuff on it. I'm making it easier. You guys can just multiply this stuff on your phone. It's not that hard. All right, so pay attention to these numbers here. If it's 13%, then you multiply your stuff times 5.5. 14% is 6.26. 15 is 7.07. I'll probably just put this table on my website so you can just look at it. I think most of my examples I did 15%, so it's times 7.07. All right, so, oh, we lost a page. No. All right, so before we can do math with percents, we need to turn our percents into decimals. So 50% would be 0.5, 10% is 0.1. So to calculate your next cycle, you're going to take the number from before. So your first cycle, you just multiply by the number based on the percent. So right here, you know, if it's 15%, you just take your starting number and multiply by that, 7.7. So for your next cycle, you're going to take whatever number you got from that. So then you're going to multiply by your reinvestment rate. So let's say I'm doing $1,000 at 15% and I reinvested 50. So I do the 1,000 times the 7.07. And then since I'm reinvesting at 50%, I do times 0.5, and that's my next starting amount. So if we're still at 15%, 1,000 times the 7 times the 0.5, that's my new reinvestment amount. So then on the second cycle, it's that times the 7.07, and this is how much you get after the second cycle. And if we do it a third cycle, then I'll take that times the half times the 7.07 again, and that's how much I get at the end of the third cycle. And then I also did this, so if we're investing 1,000 at 15%, and we keep 10% and reinvest 90%. So in the first cycle, I've got 1,000 times the 7.07, so 7,070. Now times 0.1 tells me the 10% cash that I'm keeping. And then the 70 times 0.9 gives me the amount that I'm reinvesting. So then that amount times the 7.07 tells me the amount of cash I get at the next cycle. So then I split it 10%, so times 0.1. This is how much cash I've got. So I have this much cash from last time and this one. So that means you're adding these two. And then over here, 44,000 times the 0.9 gives me a new starting amount for the third cycle of $40,000. The 40,000 times the 7.07 again means at the end of the third cycle, I've got $286,000 coming out of here. All right, that's pretty basic. It's only 5 minutes, and you don't even need to do exponents or know what compounding is. So there you go.